I joined tech after 40, and this career shift completely changed my perspective on many things like human potential, career mindset, skill acquisitions, business, and technology per se. And here is why. Hi, if you don't know me, I'm Natalia. I'm a cloud and DevOps engineer, and today we'll be having a little bit of different conversation. I've got a number of questions on the channel and messages over my social media from people with non-technical backgrounds and various age groups. And this is actually my opportunity to connect with you by answering these questions and sharing my perspective. It's not a super technical topic, but very important one, because after watching this video, I would like you to start thinking and digging deeper into your personality and your whys. 4 years ago, I decided to pivot and break into tech. It was the most terrifying, intimidating, and fascinating decision in my entire life. There are a few reasons why it was like that, and I have a very strong feeling that some of my reasons might resonate with yours. I'm a first-generation immigrant. English is my second language, and I decided to learn software engineering without any prior experience and any technical background. I don't have anyone in my close circle who would support and guide me through this rough experience. I have 2 kids, and my little one was over a year old when I joined the tech industry. Hopefully this gives you an idea where I was standing. You might ask, why did you do that and throw yourself into this? Do you have someone who supports you financially and just in general? Why not relax and enjoy parenting and life as a mom? And honestly, I'm not surprised with these types of questions, because they are coming from more traditional ways of thinking. I would ask the same questions if I were you, because we are programmed to think this way. Yes, we are programmed to go to university, choose one career path, get a job, and stay with one company for many years. I get it. It's such a nice, calm, and safe path to follow. And for women, if we decide to have kids, we're pretty much pausing our career progression compared with guys. For immigrant moms, it's even worse. I remember this day so vividly, as if it was yesterday. It was early in the morning, and I was downtown looking at the impressive modern buildings with the hundreds of stylish offices. The streets were bustling with busy and good-looking people, carrying cups of coffees and chatting about their work and where to go for lunch. I was standing alone and thinking how lucky they were. Usually we don't realize when we have it all, and there's such a privilege to speak the same language as locals, to get educated in local schools, to have a job in these stylish offices, to buy yummy lunches, go shopping, or go to a nail salon during the lunch break. It was something that was completely out of my reach, because I came to a new country. And I remember I told myself that one day I would have it all. I wasn't sure where to start or whom to ask to help, but I knew I would get there at some point. The feeling was so strong that my eyes started to itch and I had a lump in my throat. And now I'm sitting in front of my camera, sharing my typical immigrant story. This story is solely from my perspective and may mean nothing to some of you, as it may come easily to you. Have you ever thought about what it takes to get a decent job in a foreign country, or to receive a local education? Or what does it take to start a channel and share what you have learned in a language that is not your native one? What does it take to raise a family without any support because you don't have your family around? And these are just some of challenges that I have faced and continue to face every day. However, I know that some of you will find common ground with my story. I already got a few genuine and supportive comments. Thank you so much. Let's begin with the most crucial questions. Why do we have to pivot? Many of us underestimate the power of pivot, or we might be afraid of how it can affect our way of living. We only realize its importance when the uncertainty of the unknown, momentum, intuition, and agility come together to create some sort of action that can completely change the course of your life. In my case, I went back to school when my baby was only 8 months old. When I started to work, I still was breastfeeding him, not fully, but enough for him to feel comfortable, loved, secure, and safe. This is all they need. I was so busy with my uni that postpartum depression passed me by because I was stressed with other stuff like my weekly assignments. I understand some moms prefer to nurture their kids a bit longer, and I truly admire that. In my situation, I started to feel a lack of intellectual stimuli. I started to feel my ability to process information was getting slow, and I didn't remember some simple things. My mental productivity was decreasing. On top of that, I started to think about what I was going to do when the baby started daycare or school, if I'm going back to retail or photography gig or admin type of jobs which pays little. We must be ready to change direction at any point in our lives. It's such a crucial aspect of mental health and in business context survival. To achieve our goals, we must learn to see failure, loss, mistakes, disappointment, and self-growth as opportunities for growth and improvement. We need to improve all challenges that come our way and use them to become better version of ourselves. I realized that if I don't change my life drastically, I will stay the same person, an immigrant mother who can barely express herself, who just communicates within her small circle and only in her native language. In my head, I was suffering seeing this picture. I will also give you a few examples in business that you might never think of. And on a side note, why do I always refer to businesses? In my opinion, we as individuals can see some patterns in business that we can implement in our personal lives. Because great companies are a collective consciousness of so many results-driven people. For example, a few companies that you know had to pivot to survive in the harsh realities of the business world. I'm 100% sure you are using their products or at least heard of them. Let's start from Netflix. It started as a DVD rental shop, and then it had to pivot to a streaming video platform in the early 2000s. This shift transformed the company into a major player in the entertainment industry, leading to the death of traditional video rental stores. Number 2, Jeff Bezos started an online bookstore, and it pivoted to become a one-stop shop for a wide range of products. In the early 2000s, it expanded into cloud computing and later on added artificial intelligence and entertainment, among other industries. You can watch my video about it here. And the last one, Instagram. Originally a location-based social network called Bourbon, Instagram pivoted to focus on photo sharing. This pivot proved to be an incredibly successful move, leading to its acquisition by Facebook for $1 billion in 2012. Not to shame Instagram. So we all have different reasons, and that's why it's super important to know yourself and know your whys. Also, by aiding emotional agility and grit, you will get something very profound. So you might think, okay, I know my whys, but when? When to make this jump? And this is the second question. When do we need to pivot? And this is my perspective on this topic. It might be a completely different and foreign approach for you. And this is why the internet is so good, because we have endless opportunities to get into someone's thoughts on mundane and simple things. I think a lot about how big businesses and top dogs do their things. I just imagine my little family and myself as a little enterprise, if you can say so. Each decision that you take will improve your company's performance or drag you down financial struggle. And this is when I pay close attention to these 3 key factors, because knowing when to pivot is crucial for your survival. The first one, market changes. This is when you need to watch significant changes in the market, such as shifts in consumer behavior, new technology, emerging trends, or even changes in government. It says it might be time to pivot to better align with these changes. And it doesn't matter what industry you are in the moment. I can share my thought process on this. When I was studying for my master's, we had only 1 week of cloud computing, and honestly, I didn't get it. but I already decided that this is going to be my domain. There are a few things that made me think this way. Weta Digital is one of the biggest innovative digital and high-tech company in the world, specializing in entertainment industry, which resides in my little capital, moved all of its assets into the cloud that year. And when the pandemic happened, I was watching the most smooth shift to remote style of working. Weta did an incredible job. Next one, we still don't have any data centers of big players like AWS and Azure, but they are coming, and it means they are creating lots of jobs and you want to be in line. And of course, consumer behavior. You realize we're not going back, right? Digitalization is our blessing and our curse. The pandemic exposed so many possibilities, and at the same time, the rise and fall of some technologies. Every single company is tapping the cloud, and these industries need people who know how to put it all together and get the most for their buck. Stagnation. If you are experiencing stagnant professional and personal growth, despite all your efforts, it may be time to pivot to explore new growth opportunities. I believe that we need to learn something every single day. Even 1% is enough. But doing this consistently for a long time, you want to see the results of your input, right? But if you don't see the outcome in such areas as improving your income, growing your professional expertise, improving your health, and social progress, it means you need to change something in your life strategy. Because stagnation means loss of your competitive edge, missed opportunities, lack of innovation, and financial impact. When I choose a book, podcast, movie, online course, job, or professional event, the first thing that comes to my mind is how it's going to benefit my professional and personal growth. And the next one, financial challenges. If you're facing financial challenges such as unstable income or unsustainable poor cost of living, it's a clear sign that you need to pivot to improve your financial stability. I'm not sure if it's clear enough, but two incomes are better than one. The cost of living is increasing every year in every country. Inflation is brutal and unforgiving. And my personal view on this touchy topic, every woman should be financially independent, because you never know what can happen in life, and you still need to provide a roof and food for yourself and your kids. How do we need to pivot? This is the stage where we get more technical and jump into tactics and processes. And again, I refer to businesses. I used key business processes when I decided to change the course of my life. You can watch this video and it will give you a step-by-step guide on how I did it. So you always need to remember that each significant pivot should project your life's trajectory for the next 5 years. Okay, let's jump into it. Step 1, evaluate your personal strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, which is a classic SWOT analysis. You need to understand the need for pivot. The same in business, because each pivot requires lots of effort, time, financial challenges, and investment. Number 2, identify pivot options. Explore different options based on research, feedback, analysis, future career strategy, and life circumstances. In this video, I'm sharing the pros and cons of all study options like going to uni, short-term courses, or self-learning path. Also, I explored financial options, how I can fund my study. The same applies in business. You need to understand what options are available for you at that exact moment. Number 3, set clear goals. You need to define specific and measurable goals for your pivot. So in my case, it was getting an internship, attending a graduation ceremony, getting photos in this silly hat, getting a job in a company that specializes in cloud technologies, specifically AWS, and getting professional certifications. I remember when I was at my lowest during the study, I was closing my eyes and dreaming about the graduation ceremony and what I felt at this moment. This technique helped me to get through. Don't underestimate the power of visualization. Number 4, develop a plan. Create a detailed plan that outlines how you will execute your pivot, including timelines, resource allocation, and key milestones. It will be your ultimate roadmap to success. Number 5, communicate effectively. My main stakeholder in this pivot is my partner, and I shared my plan and reason for this pivot before our baby was born. We discussed all the necessary steps, his involvement and support during this transition. Ensure your stakeholders understand the benefits and impact of this pivot. Number 6, stay agile. Oh, this one is super important. Remain flexible and open to further changes as you navigate the pivot process. Be ready to face all possible challenges and adapt your approach accordingly. For example, we plan to bring grandparents to look after the baby so he could start daycare at 1 year old. But the pandemic changed all our plans and he went to daycare at 8 months. Number 7, seek expert advice. Like in business, you consider consulting with industry experts, mentors, or advisors who can provide valuable insights and guidance during the pivot process. I was consulting with my mentor who actually did the same a few years earlier and shared possible pitfalls and career strategies. It was amazing and super helpful. You can always pivot. You can change your mindset. You can change your path. You can change your relationship. You can change your habit. You can change your brain. You can change your social circle. You can change your jobs. It's not easy. It's not simple. It will not be linear, but it's possible. And if you're someone who wants to grow and learn new things every single day, but doesn't know how to do it effectively, I highly recommend watching this video, where I'm sharing my key tactics to learn complex subjects regularly and get impressive results. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in this video next.